Hey everyone, so today we have my Deload push session, and yes, just a little bit about it's almost like a mentorship with Charles, and it's definitely something that I have benefited from a lot, as each and every time we did have the meeting, he pretty much covered everything that I needed and everything that I kind of needed to work from, if that makes sense. So I've got a new set strategy in place, which definitely makes sense, and I definitely hope you all enjoyed it. I definitely think many of you will find it helpful. I mean, there's a lot of like business coaches and mentors out there, but the stuff they put out is just garbage, because it doesn't actually teach you how to be good at what you do and what you've got to implement to be even better and more efficient. It's more about selling and trying to get more clients and earn more money, whereas that is always going to be a byproduct of how successful and how good you actually are, and that's always been my preferred method, and that's always kind of what I wanted in a way. So yes, today's our last Deload session. Tomorrow is a rest day, and then we return back with normal schedule from Wednesday. It's a Sunday today, yeah. From Thursday, Wednesday? No, Wednesday, yeah. Monday off, Tuesday on. From Tuesday, sorry. So yeah, we'll return back with normal schedule, and it's go time from there. Definitely feeling good, feeling better than I did before the Deload, as I definitely smashed myself a little bit too much. But it's understandable, I'm the strongest and the biggest I've ever been, so it's going to take its toll as well. So that's just one consideration that I need to make right now. It's just keeping fresh and making sure that I do recognise when I do need to take a step back and deload, rather than just trying to push through it and then my performance suffers in the gym, and I think that has a negative impact on everything else. So I think that's the priority. As long as my performance stays good in the gym, I think everything else is kind of flowing well as well. So I think that's definitely the goal, and that's definitely something that I need to pay attention to the most now right now. So yeah, let's get after it, and then yeah, game time, guys, game time.
Oh, come on, all you, yeah.
So, today guys, we had a deload session, so pretty much doing one working set per exercise, still to death, still using sensible load, and we still take it there, so get after it. Incline barbell is making slow progress, 1 rep up from last rotation, but still it's that 1 rep that counts. Definitely happy but not happy with it, but towards back end of the deload, as you drop fatigue, strength definitely comes thick and fast, so we're just kind of going through that right now.
up. Come on. And again. Nice. Yes, nice. Come on, all you. Come on.
Rosa. Rosa.
session with 2 with Charlie, and this is the second office, which is actually across the road. So this is the second office, the big one. It's definitely been a lot harder than I expected.
Yeah.
Especially as things move on.
Okay, thanks guys.
And it's like off season as well, as you get heavier.
Yeah.
Definitely gets a lot harder, but it's been a challenge. It's still doable.
Yeah.
Well, beforehand, I would have let it all slip. And this time I haven't. I mean, it's definitely made a huge difference. Yeah. The last couple of months probably had the best months of really nailed it.
So we'll start with a very simple one. If I was to say to you, right, there's 3 aspects of your life. So you've got your personal life, you've got your business life, and you've got your training life. What would, for this last quarter since we last met, what would you give them out of 10 in each of those categories?
So probably business and training 8, and personal life I think a 5 with what's going on at the minute. Okay.
Are there any things where you sort of say, okay, look, I know I said I'd do this and I just haven't done it for whatever reason?
I've done it, but it's been a lot harder than I expected.
Right, okay.
I've still managed to keep my bedtimes and stuff, but you know what, it's been hard. It's definitely been harder. But it's definitely paid off, because if I hadn't kept it up, there's no way I'd have been able to do what I've done. There's no way. I wouldn't be able to keep on top of my clients, do the websites and do everything that I needed to do. So when we set all this out, if I didn't keep that up, there's no way I would have been able to do it, because I would have been chasing my tail, and I wouldn't be able to put the effort I needed to in my training and everything else.
Is there anything that you found when you were trying to work through that yourself that helped in that situation?
I think just managing recovery better. I think the more recovered I feel with the training side, the better I can perform. But yourself, sometimes it's hard to take that step back. So one thing that I need to learn more is just knowing, and I've been better with it, but I'm still not quite where I want to be with it, because sometimes I'll know that I need to pull back and either deload or rest, but I don't. And then if I don't, not only the performance will be worse in the gym, but outside the gym as well. I've definitely realised that when I look back last month or so, because that's definitely this month, because in January it was a weird one with the lockdown. A lot of people went into a spiral of downhill spiral. They felt really down, especially with clients. Mate, it was mental. One of the worst months ever. Yeah. So I think that definitely had an impact on me a little bit, and my energy levels in a way, because literally every single person I spoke to, they were like, "This is dog shit. I've had enough." Do you know what I mean?
I suppose one of the things I'd probably put in that category that helps with all that sort of stuff is prioritization. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes what helps is, and it can be as simple as making a list of what you've got to do and putting it in order, and then you're like, right, okay, I've only got so many hours in a day, so I just work through it from the top to the bottom. And if I don't get to some of the stuff at the bottom, it just couldn't be done, I'll have to do it tomorrow, or I can postpone a few things out and stuff like that as well. As long as you get the big stuff done, it doesn't matter so much.
I think that helped a lot.
Got a key task and just go 1 to 10, and then each day I'd knock off the ones I've done. But the kind of discipline, which is hard, is to start number 1, because you think, I could do number 7 real quick. I'll just do that and get it out of the way. But you need to if that was the most important thing.
That's probably the biggest mistake I made then, because I was the biggest things and the most the tedious things, which are the longer check-ins, I would because I was getting so much negativity, I was putting them off. So I was doing the easier tasks, the form clips and more reviewing the form and stuff. That's easy, and I kind of enjoy that anyway, much more than I would go into depth on how they feel and everything else. So because the month went that way, I was kind of putting that off. So the longer, the bigger, most challenging tasks, I was leaving for last, and I think that's what. I definitely think that. Looking back at that now, when you said that now, I think that's probably the biggest kind of downfall.
And at that point, you're trying to do the biggest, hardest task when you're most tired. And you burn all your energy off. To use a training analogy, you wouldn't kind of smash a whole session and then go and do some squats and deadlifts right at the end. You want to do them when you've got some energy. So it's the prioritization is quite a big thing, and it also just helps with that feeling of overwhelm, because sometimes you can feel like I'm just trying to keep my head above water, and this is just getting worse and worse and worse, and it's a horrible feeling. Just trying to get some air. Whereas actually say, okay, no, I can start at the top and I'll just work through with the hours I've got. Obviously, a lot of what you do is individual, which is great, and I think obviously that's a big feature of how and why you've got kind of a unique selling point and people have got access. But what you can do is sort of say, well, actually, there's a common factor between all your clients. So at the moment, it would be a bit of a pep talk about how to stay positive in lockdown and other sort of stuff like that, how to stay on plan. But you might say, well, actually, instead of having a 45 minute an hour, and effectively, I'm sure you probably during this conversation, sometimes you find yourself repeating yourself and saying the same thing to 4, 5, 6 people. To say, well, actually, what we're going to do is all do individual stuff, but we're going to keep them a little bit shorter. We're then going to have a group call where everyone gets on a group Zoom call or whatever it is, and then you can just say it once.
If I did like a Zoom call once a week covering a certain subject, something that's come up quite a lot, I could easily do that.
Probably for some of the clients, they might be feeling, well, maybe it's just me who feels like this. All of Cuba's other clients are nailing it, and I'm the only one who's having a tough time. But when they realise actually other people are struggling, it's kind of like, okay, well, do you know what? I don't feel so bad now, and I can see how they felt about it all. So should we go through some of the stuff we had from last time, of other bits and pieces? So one of the things, some of these maybe simple to tick off, but was having 2 therapy sessions a week.
Until we usually got put it out.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
I still have that. I have my physio. I have a guy come to my house every week, and then I have chiropractor as well, and then I have regen as of when. When he's able.
Yeah, and I know they've got that one that hospital nearby, haven't they now? But I don't know how close or far that is. The other one was blood work.
Yeah.
That's been done.
Yeah.
All okay?
Every 6 weeks bang on.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest.
And what are your goals for this year in terms of what you're going to do, obviously?
So, first show I'm going to start with the British Grand Prix 17th, and then Romania, and then Portugal I think as well, and Spain. Okay. So I'm doing 3 shows at least this year.
Okay. And I think, especially with goals, not to set goals around placings because it's totally subjective in terms of who turns up, like stuff like that. So, but what are your goals in terms of something where you can control it? Like you could say, all right, I want to turn up at this way.
So this year, £235. I was 225 on stage last year. Okay. This year, I definitely think with the way things have gone and how I am now, like when I started my prep, I was £10 lighter than I am now. Yeah. And I was a lot fatter. And I was £225. Yeah. So I'm £10 heavier now, a lot leaner. So I think I can definitely step on stage at 235 and a lot healthier as well.
Yeah, 235 may be conservative as well if you're that kind of position.
But I think I can definitely pull a bit more off as well from the glutes. Yeah. So I'm at 235 but in better condition. Yeah. Like inside out condition.
I'll show you. I've showed you my diary before.
No.
So I'll show you how it looks on here. So these are all the different things here. So I've got my training in the mornings blocked out, and then my gym sessions blocked out. So that's my training time. These are my work slots. So that's all booked in there. And then Tuesday evening, Thursday evening, and weekends personal time. So that's my 3 kind of things. So that if rather than just gradually just put appointments later and later into these particular things, you think well actually if I scan forward, it gives you structure, and the structure then makes sure that you have enough time for each of those things. Because if I didn't have those gym sessions in, you just get pushed later and later in the day, and I'd be I used to train sometimes like 7, 8 in the night, and then I'm not getting to bed, bad day the next day, and so on. So it's like, well, whatever happens, I do that. And if I then need to go back and do some emails later on, that's fine. Or if I need to do some work in these days, but it also means you can guide people to those slots and say, look, okay, if you want some personal time, that's when I'm free. If I need to have a business meeting, okay, I can see slots when those are the options, rather than, well, when do you want, when suits you?
I could do that, just on my whiteboard every Sunday night. I could plan the week ahead and just block everything out. Because at the moment, like I said, I've still managed to keep it up, but I know that I can still do it better in a way. Because, especially like I told you before, the last 4 months, I would never used to do it what I'm doing now.
Brilliant. So I'll put those bits together and send you over an email. Obviously, you got your notes, so we can compare as well.
To be fair, that'll be helpful with the main notes of that, because I can fill that in properly there as well. Yeah. It's a lot harder when you're engaged to try and fill it in.
Yeah, and you're trying to think about it at the same time as well. So good. It's nice to see you doing so well, and if you can do well at a time like this, then you can imagine what it's going to be like when gyms are open, competitions are running, all
that's what I mean. I need to make sure by the time gyms are open, it needs to be like the Zoom calls. That'll be a game changer. People love that.
Yeah, it's nice, and you can even you can think about how you can kind of put some logo in it, or you can put PowerPoint presentations up with bits and pieces.
So I can cover a lot of points. Like I said to you now, I like even just thinking about it now. I can think of about 10 weeks worth.
Yeah. Like
literally with the things that people ask. So thank you much.
A pleasure as always.
Appreciate it, mate.
Yep.
So guys, that is a wrap. Thank you for tuning in as always. It has been a pretty decent session, to be honest. Finding my groove with the incline barbell now. I've decided to do it every 5 days now. Again, with training, it's skill acquisition. So to get good at a certain movement, you just have to keep repeating it and keep doing it again. So I've pretty much swapped that out with the side lateral. And in my opinion, I'm definitely going to get more out of doing an extra compound movement. So that's definitely going to be the way moving forward in this session. But yeah, thank you guys, thank you for tuning in. I was a little bit quiet today, no talking between sets, but you know, sometimes that is the way, sometimes that's how we roll, and that is my preferred way, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it regardless, guys, and I hope you enjoyed my session with Charles as well. So thank you guys, peace out and take care.